Hey everyone, it's me, Salathia, and I just want to echo what we hear a lot of times as a notary when we make a mistake is to own it and not let it get you down and bounce back and learn from it. So that's what I'm going to do with the mistake I did today. I did spaz out. I owned it. I'm learn I'm learning from it. I learned from it, and I'm not going to let it get me down. It did. It did. In all honesty, it did, because I know the quality of work that I normally do. And this one I just spaced on it. So let me tell you what happened. I had a signing today, August 7th, and it was a buyer and a seller package. And I was excited. So I print the seller package, print their copy, we're good to go. No issues. Print the buyer's package. Well, lo and behold, my printer stopped printing. So I said, oh my goodness, where did it stop printing at? So I take the pages that printed and I'm looking at the screen, the print preview, right? So you can see the pages. So I go all the way to the back of the document, and then I look at the last page that I have. And so I just start paging back until they match up. And so I'm like, oh, okay. It only stopped with like maybe 5 or 6 pages left to be printed. So I printed my copy, I printed the seller's copy. Now, mind you, I did look at the documents. I downloaded the documents and I did look at them prior to me printing. So fast forward, go to the signing table. We sign the seller package. We sign the buyer package. Copies of IDs. I'm like, okay, we're good. We're golden. So I start to scan everything back. I scan the IDs back, upload it, good to go. Scan the seller package back, upload it, good to go. So then I go to scan the buyer's package. You know, my brand new scanner, my Epson, what is it, ES300W. Yes, I like it. So it's scanning. Probably three passes, to get all the documents, because it only holds 20 pages. And so I wanted to make sure that it would feed. And so then it finished scanning. My buyer's package said 77 pages, when you go to print. My scan pages said 56. I was like, I know they didn't give me 20 pages worth of instructions, so something must be wrong. What happened? So I'm going through what I had printed and that was already signed, notarized, all that good stuff. And I'm looking, and I was like, I'm going one for one. What's on the screen, what's already signed, and lo and behold, I missed 21 pages. 21? I think that's how many I missed. How did I miss 21 pages? Well, you remember at the beginning of the story when I said I was looking at where my printer stopped and looking at the end of the document? Well, the amortization schedule was in there twice. It was in the middle of the document and at the end of the document. So of course, when I'm looking at what I printed, it stopped at the amortization schedule, like page 1, page 2. So as I tab back to see what pages I needed to make sure I print, I only go back to the amortization schedule that it was at the end of the package. It didn't ding, ding, ding when I printed that there was one in the middle of the package. Yeah. So that was the mistake I made. So I had to call the signer. The signer was like, oh, no problem. Very, very accommodating, very understanding. And I'm like, thank you, And so I print the pages that I'm missing. I'm in panic mode right now. And so then I called the company that hired me Well, I emailed the company that hired me and was like, hey, I just messed up, right? I was like, there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm gonna have to make it right. My apologies. I mean, I just had to eat crow. I believe that's the correct term, and acknowledge that I did mess up in a major way. So then I was like, okay, I printed, go get it signed. And I was like, I had a little voice, he signed, and then I leave. And I was like, let me pull over. Because by this point, I'm just like, I don't know what else to do. And then so I said, well, let me look at what I took to him to sign and what we've already signed to make sure they're the exact same thing. So I scroll all the way up. I pull up the document. First, I was panicking, thinking I didn't have it on my phone, but I did. I was able to get to it. That's the beauty of having Apple products. What you do on your computer is saved in the Apple cloud somewhere. I don't know. I don't want to say it's not the same for Android or Google or all the other ones. But I was happy that I had it. I was able to retrieve it on my phone because guess what? I couldn't retrieve it from the order any longer because I had closed the order. So downloading those documents were not possible. So I said, well, let me look at it again to make sure I have everything. So I looked and I was like, God damn, I forgot to get him to sign a document. Luckily, I had it printed. So I was like, call for the third time. No, this is the fourth time, third time, right? I was like, hey, I'll be right back. There's just one more that I have that I need for you to sign. And he willingly did it. I'm forever grateful. And I was able to scan it back and upload it. And then tomorrow I will drop it off. So, and I don't know how I missed a whole 20 pages because I'm notorious for, regardless of how many pages it is, I'm notorious for counting. Making sure however many pages I printed is how many pages I have. I'm notorious for looking at the screen, looking at what I printed, making sure that they match. I don't know what happened this time, and I'm kind of bummed about it. And I wasn't rushing. I just spaced on it, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it because I was able to correct it. I just hope that it's acceptable, right? So the moral of the story is count your pages regardless. I know some people got 200-page documents and things like that. Count the pages, compare what you printed to what's on the screen, make sure that they're in the same order, and take your time. And the other thing is, oh, thank goodness for scan backs. I know. Sometimes they can be a headache, but I don't think I'm ever going to complain about them anymore because they literally saved this signing. Because had there not been a scan back, I would have just sent the documents as is and not realized that I had missed a whole 20-something pages. So then it would have been my reputation and the buyer not being able to close, right? Because I would have missed all of those pages. And I think for me, that would have sucked way, 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 way worse than being able to rectify the situation on the same day on the spot. So sometimes we just have to count our blessings. We don't know where that blessing is coming from, when we're going to get that blessing, because when you get a scan back, sometimes you're like, oh, but you have the option, right, to accept scan backs or not accept scan back. It's starting not to sound like a word anymore, but I accepted this order. I'm grateful. that it had scan backs because it saved a lot of headache all around for all parties involved. Um, so yeah, just take your time. And I know what a buyer's package looked like. I don't even know why I didn't look for the, what do you say, the normal, typical documents that come in the package. That was just my goof. We all make mistakes. And like I mentioned at the beginning, learn from it, grow from it. Don't let it get you down. Don't spaz out because then you'll make even more mistakes. Just take your time with your packages and give your best, to the party that hired you and to the person that's signing the documents for you. Whew. What should have taken an hour and 15 minutes took me 3 and some change. But I will say this, I'm not complaining. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to be able to correct the documents. And hopefully this is a teachable moment or a learning moment for someone, for anyone that's going to be doing a signing. Check there. I applaud everybody who does 5, 6 plus signings a day, because just making one mistake just kind of just threw me all off. So those of you who do multiple signings in a day, my hat is tipped all the way over. I'm bending all the way over to bow before you because, whoo, if I had to do 5 or 6 and then I know this one was messed up, I know myself. It would have been just like, y'all would just have to pick me up off the floor because I would have melted in a puddle. I would have just, shoot, I guess you can't pick me up if I melted. You might as well just get the mop just push me to the side because I will be on the floor for a while. That's just me. I'm getting better. But hopefully there is a takeaway in me sharing my experience today. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a great day, and I'll be back some other time.